Using an excerpt from a previous study, let us use some of the raw data to illustrate how to get multiple regression. Suppose we investigate the effects of some variables on competitiveness, and then for each variable, we use conditional formatting to highlight the most correlated. Of course, we should not highlight a variable as correlated with itself. So we go to data and then go to data analysis. Now, if your data analysis is not enabled, so you go to file options and click add-ins and click go, click analysis toolpath and go back to data analysis, correlation, and we need to identify our input range. First, we have the labels, and then you press Shift Control arrow down, click labels on first row, and let our output range be any cell there. Now, in some cases, management would want a full correlation matrix. So you go to copy and then click transpose. And to fill in the values, paste special, skip blanks. There's our full matrix. And just do a little formatting. Now we are left with highlighting the most correlated values. So using conditional formatting. Now for this scenario, we cannot use any of these rules. So we need to use a new rule by using a formula to determine which cells to format. For this requirement, we need to have two conditions, and thus we have a logical operator AND equals and the first condition is that the cell using relative address, so press F4 thrice, is less than 1 since we don't want to highlight itself. And the second condition, you press F4 thrice, is greater than or equal to, using a function large. And for the column, first column, press F4 once, since we only need to lock the row. And we return, the second argument will be 2, and double close parenthesis. Then we click format, choose the formatting. And you click OK. And you can see that it highlights the most correlated, but we did not highlight its correlation to itself. That was the result of the second condition. Now, there are cases when the requirement will change, like instead of getting only one most correlated, perhaps management would want to change it to have at least 2. So change your argument to 3 and then click OK. So in this case, in each of the column, we have the 2 highest was highlighted. So whenever you look at correlation coefficient, make sure that these things make sense. So if these things do not make practical sense, then these numbers mean nothing. Now, one conclusion from the study was that in order to improve competitiveness, the focus should be on innovation. It has direct effect on competitiveness. So to know more about the study, do visit the Recoletos Multidisciplinary Research Journal.